Yeah, and so that's where I come in, is really talking about what nourishment is. And we come into this earth, or into this plane, crying and scared and wail. And the way that we feel safe, and the way that we feel loved, and the way that we feel valued, and the way we feel warm and full from an emptiness, is nourishment. It is literally the first way we sense that we're okay, and that we're connected and loved and valuable and safe. All of those things from, from being fed. And so it really does take up metaphoric space then, as it builds and snowballs as you age, of like, how how do I believe, or where do I break down feeling like I deserve nourishment, that I deserve to take up space, that I deserve to desire things, to hunger for things, so it starts to take on a whole different pathway into a more emotional, psychological journey. And then we still think, well, if I could just control the food, I'd be fine. And yet it's never about the food. It's about, how do you feel about your being and the space you take up, that you have, right?
Right, right. So how do you counsel people? What is the way that you invite people to reimagine their relationship with nourishment?
Yeah. Well, that's a very good and very multi-layered question, and it depends on the person, obviously.
My favorite
I
kind.
love it. Yeah, very. I could talk about that, the answer to that, for hours, because some people are using food in a controlling way to control their emotions, right? Because sadness, anger, fear, embarrassment are uncomfortable, and if we mush them down under the umbrella of anxiety around food, it gives our brain something else to focus on that seems tangible, like a better problem to solve. Oh, the problem of hunger or fullness or weight loss is a tangible thing. I can solve that. I don't know how to sit with my uncomfortable feelings of sadness or grief or longing. That's a bigger ask. So that's the allure of dieting or disordered eating, is because it gives you a problem to solve, and therefore you feel accomplished, right?
In control, right?
And control. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely, absolutely. And so for a while, that feels like safety, right? And so that's one piece. Another piece is around trusting and knowing a lot of things, your heritage. I used to think um, certain foods, weren't, when I struggled with disordered eating, in the diet culture, like, oh, I can't eat that, or I can't eat that. And then I looked back to my German and Irish heritage, and found that actually some of the things that I wasn't eating, my body feels the best when I eat. And so we want to look at our lineage, we want to look at our brain chemistry, we want to honor our, the way we've grown up, and what makes us feel good, right? And that's going to be different for everybody, right?